Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Thomas Finn James. On my channel, you'll find pure cinema, comedy, reviews, and more. Today, I'm going to do a monthly wrap up for April 2021 and cover film, music, and wrestling. So, I'll talk about film seen, music listened to, wrestling watched, and projects worked on in April 2021 for me. D'accord, let's begin. Film. So, talk about some of the films I watched. Guys and Dolls, one of them. It's a musical. It's fantastic. Jay Dilla reference. Marlon Brando starred in this with Frank Sinatra. It's a very entertaining movie. Features the song Look Be a Lady. It's a catchy ditty, I would say. A Foreign Affair, a Billy Wilder movie. I watched that. In preparation for my first verses on Letterboxd. So I did the list Billy Wilder versus Cameron Crowe. I ranked the films directed by Wilder and Crowe. And interesting picking those two. Smart, funny, writer-directors. So, A Foreign Affair I watched in build-up to that list. It's a cool movie. I enjoyed it. It features a brilliant performance by Marlene Dietrich. My Wilder vs. Crowe Versus is available on Letterboxd. Touch of Evil, the Orson Welles movie. This is a film I reviewed on Letterboxd. So, Mank, the Fincher movie, did alright at the Oscars this year. I'm getting to that. Mank stimulated cinephiles to talk about Orson Welles more so. Thus, I decided to rewatch Touch of Evil. Like I say, I reviewed it on Letterboxd. To summarise, Touch of Evil is a classic. The Oscars this year. So, the show as a whole wasn't particularly good, really. Notable winners include Trent Reznor, Jon Batiste, and Atticus Ross for Best Original Score. That was cool to see. David Fincher's Mank, like I mentioned a minute ago, picked up 2 Oscars. Nomadland picked up 3, the most of the night. Interesting stat on the Oscars. This year's Academy Awards was the least viewed Oscars ceremony on record in the United States. C'est intéressant. Music I will get to now. So I'll start with my go-to tracks for April this month. Go-to tracks, I pick the top 4 tracks that I stream the most or that are my most go-to for said month. The number one go-to track for me, April, is Seal for the Love of You. This is a really lovely song. Seal sounds awesome on here. It's the best version of the song I've heard, an Eiley Brothers song. There are many different versions. The version by Seal is superb. Glass Animals, number 2, Melon and the Coconut. This track is catchy and cool. It has a nice vibe, and it's a really listenable track. Number 3, Jay Dilla, E=MC². This track remains in the go-to list from March this year. And number 4, Justice and Simeon, We Are Your Friends. This track remains in the go-to tracks list from approximately February. In terms of what I've been listening to, April this year, Paul Oakenfold. Been streaming a bit of the old Paul Oakenfold this month. Enjoying some of his music, tracks he's on and remixes. Had a nice session where I streamed many tracks he's appeared on. He's had a long career so far. Established, so he is. He's a popular chap in the sphere of dance music, and I can see why. Wrestling, I'll get to now. So, Wrestlemania 37 occurred in April specifically April 10th and April 11th. I'll talk about some of the event. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE title kicked off the show, night one. So I did wrestling match ratings on Twitter for many of the matches on Mania, as I do for wrestling matches in general. So I think Drew and Lashley were having a good match. They were having a good match. However, I think the wrong person won, and this sort of overshadows the build-up and some of the good stuff that was going on there. I think Drew still had a good showing in the match. It's not his fault that the wrong person won for the match, I feel. I think he could have had a big pop with Drew winning the opening match of the show. Would have been a big reaction, probably. So, not all bad, but Lashley shouldn't have won the match. Other notable matches: Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. This was a great wrestling match. Cesaro picked up the win and had a nice push of sorts afterwards. Night 2 of WrestleMania 37. Let's talk about Randy Orton versus The Fiend. I thought this match could steal the show in the build-up, maybe with a bit of theatrics, you know? Firefly Funhouse match, maybe. Do a bit of that, bit of the theatrics. Mix it in there, do something different. Did it happen? No. Instead, this match was atrocious. There's very little of merit in the match at all. Which wasn't, I don't think, the fault really too much of Randy Orton or The Fiend. It's how it was booked. Rhea Ripley versus Asuka for the Raw Women's title. This was the best match by far, actually, of WrestleMania 37. Rhea Ripley is the greatest female wrestler of all time, in my opinion, and this was a career-defining moment for her, a deserved moment for her, a moment in the sun for Rhea Ripley. And it was deserved, and it was a great match. The main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania, Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal title. This match was an instant classic. All three guys showcased their abilities and put on solid performances. The finale of Reigns pinning both chaps was surprising and a cool way to end WrestleMania 37. The show on a whole, WrestleMania 37, was very good. Very good indeed. Some malarkey, you know. Not perfect WrestleMania, but a very good show. So thanks for watching. That'll do it for this April 2021 monthly wrap-up. Feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me via links in the description below. I hope you enjoyed that audio and visual stimulation. With that, I say time. Meaning, take it easy.